and no ye ne dot ye enti ye hyase adwoada na watwemu a na ye de ye enti no ye meja prekope enti se ne oni ho a ne ba metumi hye fufuo metena ha da bi yesese me ya me de amamre aye adwuma enti sabre sunyanfo nyina sunyane hema ne sunyan nanan matra konwa bono mantam nanan mu panyimfo ne ahafo mantam mu nyinara ma mu nyina ahyede ye nyina ba beta akiri na aye kwan bia so sanse me usunyan de papa de na me papa no no aha na no pay maba no na maba okay and then you mean your birthday na o tu kwan jame na wa ankra me so e dan ya menua no enti me mana kwa aba enne opening aye freno ene di na se na bo fa manu so bi no ono CEO edema Alliance Trust ono CEO ma Alliance Trust opening nat nsako ene wawoda ne nua ene kona hene asante mantem kona hene nti menua so ano no nti no pay bro bia obia no me montiri nkwa me ne kona hene ne abusua ni nyina ye montiri nkwa pa nti wi a wo behind the scene edi enkom a esese yedie awie ena no pay bejofo be come say be hye nkom twetwe na ase no minifaso George Kojo Money or a deputy Western North Regional Secretary edema NPP amayoko not be benkum soi ena mensanso aka Dr. Bernard Abeku Arthur ono so oyobia ye kase de chechiro man ye hye man planning na wa ben obetumi atena ha akire bebia nkase se edan we fafi aburi nanka etwa no se nanka kwana to na ha sei ento akatane no ko betumi akire ni nyina nkra ha ko betumi akire sa hanka ese dan si ha hanka ese we da sa enti ye ka plan na oyo ogboro se ne bi beka no no ewom nti abirafo aka no mesaka omo a na so bedi ha ye bedi nko abirafo ma akwa aba ye da masipan so ene momre enano pay na we dey straight away yenko ye da sorry ya say ye dey price stabilization and recovery levy na asan ababio ama asenkafo edwa amanfo ebuafu system no mu ayeden eden na masan hyehyɛ isan bae den na necessity say ade a eni ho no yasan akɔkɔfa de ababio wo bra ya yenim say amanfo si apini awo yeto ne manema ho
what is starting me so
yes
me da se pa na me starting no na me dinchia de ma yewura na nadodan kwakufu ado ene na bedi akire yewura Alhaj Dr. Mahmoud Mawumia na masre Ghana for say yewura Bawumia ene di NPP anim ye besre obi biara say onfa ne mpaibo na afi so December 17 ni dura ye mwa no number mayor president na the bold solutions for Ghana no entumi mra na mra meboa ema Ghana makane sawie no na ma kire so hwe price stabilization and recovery levy na say it was introduced in 2015 under Act 899 now the sole purpose no was to do three things but two in the most significant say a bit stabilize domestic prices in case there is a surge and as a price increase on the international market and the second one also was to subsidize a premix any residual fuel and so over here starting no around 2021 October NPA now suspended in the kakra because now the prices were increasing so NPA suspended the kakra now the issue has to do with say share even figures are now as of 2016 started year to 2020 we say now around two now ideally I think around 2.5 billion, for instance. But we in Ghana realize 1.89 billion. Now make sure we didn't difference no by.
Now can say you say
2.5 billion.
2.5.
That's almost 35 years. Now almost 30 from 2016. But we in Ghana realize 1.89 billion thereabout. Then you say sa levies we no. Enya dia ye geno at source. Nti se yemfa ne say fuel products ne ba eba bi du Ghana hanom na say OMC no ekwa kwato afi BDC ni ho a ontua nka ho. Na emom no oba beton wi a ye kwato no pump no ye di tua. Nti ogigi ni nyina wo honom a ansa na NPA fo abele no na omama ne invoice no aye den okwa kwatua. Na normally no aya na omoba na some beton wi omukwa kotua no ana aye nsembie wo ho nti na wo hu sa 25% decrease no
nti edenti na akwaba sa de waton dodo se sempie nimfu dodo a onipa ne de ba nti ni se o se calculate yi scan free mu a onipa no pompo onim se we menu na me de ba nti no odi menu abana se me se metu free mu a so to me entry to na se
na make us de tie ne se sa levies we mu no et se boss margin ene na se for no enti se yentua no se senka me ba ho amba beto nsuo we ya no no aka chem se tax ne ka on emetua eno ano no we de ne hu ntua no ho je se oba pump na oton wo pump na me no mienu to no na oje sa tax no obeje ne nkakran sa anto oje ne nyina awie na afi ohun se waton nsuo we wi a na afi MPA fo ama no invoice na afi wakwa kotua na mpempi no ombeton awie so mbetua no ana de asemfofo ne nam I have seen people whose licenses have been revoked because of non-payment of some of these levies. OMCs number 2 we know omon konkotia bon so masan this kind of yard for front bibia na there is a shortfall until here product a buy now share a year 14 and then 16 pesos on diesel and petrol respectively. I say in sakana yen san kan benya 1.89 na sa 1.89 you demu 1 billion na e subsidize a year premix fuel you know afare for no mo kopo so na asefo no you demu 1 billion and a year na just say akabe 890 na 890 no anka wo say itimi cushion yen do surprises na because itimi cushion na yentimi yehu prices na say cost bebre no and na bebre na akere so mu hu de wo say ye de ye enti aya mpempi no MP no MPA so mu hu surprises na cost ra then they try to remove it na just say a cushion nkofo kakra na ye be hwe so a Ghana sisi ase gina no ye wa hohiahia mu pa into here 2021 time ye fees within 2 months ye restore enti na afese so be hwe started this year no niema bebre koso the strength of the US currency dollar no ama they say no oba ex refinery prices na kosoro is increasing ni na say US for increase your interest rate ni na asefo enti na ma dollar no ho aye den nti increase nti ama ye hu some depreciation in our city nti kosoro sa no enema NPA for because oba petroleum prices na also offer ex refinery price na what are the air suppliers premium na fi waba benya one set ex refinery finally what the taxes will levies ni na be gu so na fi the distribution margin or the OMC margins na ka ho and sana waba benya the ex pump price na yeto no nti ye ex refinery price no and ye say wo to product na or my refinery price no plus the suppliers premium no you say refinery prices no is going up what you say in the past 3 months no we hear seaboard for company release or year no last March you will see that it's increasing so what you say nti MPA dream who say so if that one is increasing let's say no so in dollar terms na say be affect AM prices ne dia adding to the suspend some few pesos because enye no nkompo na o ma suspend oba price build up ma obo say strategic stock levy the SSL has also been zeroed out what you say and in Ghana nkompo is ameno ka say yen any strategic stock bia because it's been zeroed out and you know boss also keep strategic stocks and they are unable to keep the only thing they have is an operational stock MPA did that senko the be cushion the consumers at the same time no government also needs money you understand because senamidi can actually say part of the money is for domestic cushioning part is for subsidies it is Omakaso mo yi nefi ho no then which money are they going to use in subsidizing the premix and all those things for the fisher folks? Intermediate said that is what went into the thinking in here. Omasan so I reintroduce.
When you say your mind be a you can't find one somewhere. Two na aka bibia.
No crap.
Ashankafo complaining ama wamaka ho asama ye tum ye mamuntum ye ne matena se ye tum sa ma eduru baby no me no ka say Western Region GPR2 for say from Monday almost to transport fare 30%. Aye dan ya ada transport union so no ebetu sa na mo no ye hwe sa fund ya ye ka ho asemi na eye funda eda ho a ye betete ne makakra kra de afiri so na ye tumi de se ye de eye ebribi to bribi na ye be use ana se na se wo ho abribi ya ye hye ne se ye the stabilization fund ye eba na ya yen for 5 years ya yen for 2 years ya yen for 3 years ana say ye be ya abribi epibia na ye de free ho.
Well, literature my reading in me say was specific range say be 5 or 6 or 7 years. No, all the literature I've read now Senate Mekan is part of the Energy Sector Levies Act 2015 which was published. So what I say it's just a component of it. There are a lot of things you bet me I say levies ne was no some bit reduce to get to some person more they prices boso but send me kind no so wo hwe levies ne na sefo na eda ewo we say ni nyina so na margins ne na sefo na sa we so normally see reduce here the impact as I said ne say you say with deregulated market there, so government still have to subsidize premix. Until say okay, so if you want, then the question then becomes, how is premix subsidized? And it's a bit me the name of cool Abba.
Yeah, so there is one thing I we can find by moment so between to cut down expenditure, so that at least maybe a second be kono. See to me, my penny say ye mo abosu mu den. Urasa na hene a okọ na nsen you can for that say cost sharing ye nyina we ka obi nsum kakra it is a consumer no and as an ordinary citizen no yes wontua to wo tua aban expenditure so yente so
no because aban expenditure yente so you need to specify because CEC hospitals say ya kwan say you to my forecast. All those things are government expenditures.
Yeah, me to say yen share sika ekoma mpani aso ye for instance
government machinery.
Yes. Sika senior de call last year budget sika senior de call. So this year can budget no yate so anase kosoro ejina bebi ejina enti se ehunsa na manya ne yatoto ahwesa anye bia se aban se yenya ne sei a so ono so eye bibi de aboa se na betima mufo ne nso ehun betumi ahen ha ye kakra.
So here the appropriation bill our year for the last budget the sector with the huge sums of money, the Ministry of Education, that is where a chunk of the money is going. Now all share and also component chunk now over 85% of the money that is going there is basically for compensation, that is salaries. And this what did you see now the who say a chunk of government money. It's not the ones that have been apportioned to government machinery per se, but it's the one that goes into compensations. Because government machinery now, there are a lot of agencies under them. I'm saying, I say, youth for being start, you start, Abayamo Muska, NEP 4-year program, Ghana Enterprise Agency for your program for the youth, targeting 200,000 youth, 300,000 youth, NYEP, so farm, community police, all those things falls under government machinery. So government machinery should not be seen, say Kufuado. There are a lot of agencies. There are a lot of agencies.
200,000 youth, 150 youth, 1,000 youth. Yes. Impact ben pa. And as training, I see the massa mebuni, security so masene, and the ekano. For the past 7 years, impact ben and as I share no enya our economy so a bit to make us say, ye ma tro. Yeah, more 10 cities. You 10 cities said the mound. I start up a sky the mound. What you mean, yama, a uni. I'm a sister, and you for the public 2 3 account. I'm a 10 cities, you know, a swab and the petrol account. Impact Benin,
impact abenya no be hu no ahama menchro on say snate for instance ay tuano basically mo ye capture mo under the snate we say the government workers o mutu omoka but obekaya sama Euratin crime started so mo European informal sector e hono ma na snate contributions no it increase over 100%. Adintin ebasa the bass nyina say now there are a lot of people who are working mo ye adwuma me tena hase ya me fi western of me fi safi minim say okọ dwabo so a okọ skylar base eye saa we ya bi no mo de mama o mo de start ya kodu ho a o ye aduane ton wetima fa nkofo me no aka no minim say koso o mra bebre
eti say sika na e ma saa increment ni buy na say because minim obi o ye fita ni Osunyane magazine when I was in Osunyane years back
yes
in 2006 2007 thereabout me Senate me the Senate for ni ma ye na ye no mo ye advocacy bi
yes
I mean I'm host Senate for
yes
me come magazine me Senate for then am I ma Senate magazine for start so mo bam am mo so say so to meet you and this thing has been there for a very long time until the startup program about the youth no and no nama sa Senate tuanem to me hwira kwosoro sa.
Of course, if you are working, for instance, first my real school na se menye adwuma, and then one thing we must understand and it's government cannot employ everybody. So if government cannot employ everybody, then it means government must create a conducive environment for people to do their own business. So if one of the ways a government beckons or manco for conducive business for people to do their work, and almost start up, that is seen to go say government is showing commitment. Say he wants people to be innovative and then work for themselves. Okay. Because we cannot all say say how much can government employ? Ebini say better na higher work as a government expenditure where I'm saying is a compensation takes over 80% of government expenditure. And so people must be given the chance to explore what I say. Okay. By exploring, it means when you give them the startup, there are a lot of things coming up. For instance, within the IT space. Almost started a pitch here now more presidential pitch system. He has now developed a whole system where people even come there to learn, and when you go there to learn, I say, oh yes, I don't know, what do? You pay him.
That's it. Uncle, I'm saying you know would see the uni I can now. Minimum say. O man bia bekọ n'anim a wo hyehyɛ o man ne eye divan kroma beka yensa o ye late kakra fine and so e be ne sa e be fa ne sa divan ye late divan kro me o say I we janya abutre bi anim sa na me no ano divan kwa ba yeja say bia boko me adum bia boko e de radiase o sanche designer kaftan so san count.
Just say why I just say the biabo.
Na there be any designer kaftan. Munzum no bi ahwe ayi na tade ne say the esitefa. Anyway, Mr. Ata asoman si achechiro man a ye de hihya wodo na achechiro man say the be ya say e bia ye bibia economic impact no enye so dial on the citizenry. Na mo no ne ho kire na ne ho henhan na kakra mo kire ho henhan na kakra e betumi aka say fa ngo bo bibia ye tumu pe Ghana aka bibia e basa se e bia to bi se ne de beba as say e wo ho na yi firi ho na ye sande ba na nka se ye broad consultation ye ni stakeholders ni de ho nkomo ansa ne implement ana say because say ye free ho ye de ba we don't need to say there no be chance an eka. Do we think about its economic impact I benya our system no so and say the introduction yi mami nti won so adwenkyere won kakra
yo eja ko brama men da was na menchia etiefo mechia me ma me chrome for game goes for mechia me papa chrome for brekusu ne ensawum for na meka se asem way me kano kana kakra esan say say march mu na directives by say yeah suspended na march mu ya so say they call april ya so directives about say yɛsan ɛde aba enti ohwa na akwayɛ sɛ banche a yano a amben anaasɛ esija so anaasɛ menhu sɛ ne yɛsi afa
no ebia ono na agya na sto gas adum na meyɛ
but maka ne sana ma memfa ento baby a yɛsɛ yɛde to ɛyɛ aban asɛse ahyɛde sɛ ɔbɛma ɔman no friends levies aba taxes aba ɔde bɛyɛ mpontodwuma enti yɛka sɛ yɛfa ɛno na yɛbusa aban sɛ adan na wɔde tax yi ba deɛ ɛsɛ yɛhwɛ ne sɛ mmara wɔ hɔ 899 wɔ hɔ a ɛkyerɛ sɛ saa ɛkwan yɛtumi fa so ɛgye expomp taxes ɛde free way so afei nso so aban ɛwɔ akwanya sɛ ɔgye saa ntoboa na ɔde yɛ mpontodwuma yɛhwɛ bere a saa deɛ baeɛ mmara ne baeɛ from 2015 ɛbɛsi nna na kyerɛ sɛ taxes bi afiri mu aba na aban nso bɔbɔ sika no a ɛwɔ nea ɔde sika no wɔde yɛ enti yɛmfa ne sɛ 2016 taxes by 2017 taxes by 2018 taxes by 2019 taxes by 2020 21 22 23 abɛsi ndɛ I think say anka ne kwan so a aban should indicate clearly say over the period ebetunya e bibia broni friend trend analysis aka say over the period no taxes are yegye ebesi sasika botin na ebia ye try ana say ye confirm esote na emom ye try yedinti yetumi ye we ni na esote ye no so nti yentumi ye we ni those kind of explanations emma ade a friend no citizen confidence ebasoro.
Okay,
you must give citizens motivation to pay taxes, motivations to pay levies. When that motivation is not there, yana erem kakra. But I think say aban bia has good intentions and na untumi so nkasa aban edges kano edi, but the explanations of what necessitates the decision to reverse quickly within 3 weeks or 2 weeks it's a major issue. It's a major issue. That aside, Ejakobra, sir, friends saying tax here, assign reinstating. It shakes your friend in it was stress and shocks. Stresses are from inside, shocks are from outside. Now we able to Myanmar stress aba. Stress in the sense say it affects goods, food, clothing, everything that we use in our economy gets affected. Now you're very, very careful. Within this period that we are going for elections, MPP say they want to break the 8. NDC says they want to come. CPP, PPP, and including your friends, the movement for
change.
Say again, movement for change.
Alliance.
One so some person moba. And I know crack a brand here. Ninia brace
Shedder.
Or per se or system newman. Omuneba. This kind of stress that is coming or that is potentially going to rise up, how is it going to shape the politics between now and December? That is one thing that must be looked at. I mean, in policy design, you need to look at what the people need at a particular time. We acquire, but should we necessarily bring it at this time? So, may the questions that I'm asking. Say, me MP mini Ministry of Energy, mini Ministry of Finance, and I mean can't buy home. But as an ordinary citizen and an ordinary person, what I will ask myself is, why bring it back within 2 weeks or few days? And then if you are bringing it back, what is it going to solve? A day deportee and a baby year free home. And between now, By June, government machinery, by June into July, no specific major decisions can be taken. And between now that we introduce, your friend is saying, well, we introduce up to probably June. It's how many months? It's less than 3 months. Collection of taxes and accounting of the taxes. Can you do that in the shortest time of 3 months? What is it coming to do? How is it going? Originally, you said you take it off in March. It should be taken.
That is
the point I'm trying to ask.
Within that 2 weeks, first, may you free ho, then am you free ho?
Yes. Again, am we free ho?
Now what you mean what Sunday aba? Dentina,
what Sunday aba? Oh, and Medin Kanka said, you must give us some accounting of what it is. In 2020, how much was that in terms of revenue addition to government's total revenue? In 2021, 2022, 2023, I just say for 5 years trend analysis. We bet me all that. Then what was it used for? You can also tell us. And then why did you remove it in March and said that effectively from 1st April it will come into effect so that it's taken off. Then before we get to 4th April or whatever, you introduce a new one, reintroduce it, and that is the Brunibe friend, the quagmire we find out.
You share the economic impact amount for so inflation. You say eba ni say ya nnuane edifi nkuru ahodo so nkrase ba no food inflation. You say abani say wo share ma inflation akofam per this decision abani inflation hwe kwanse betumi ate abafo no betumi ate abafo ma na yi.
Ejakwabra, sincerely, you need very good energy mix. Ghana, buying airborne home modern power to do whatever it can to shore up the energy situation. But maybe I was here. We don't have solar effectively working. There were solar panels, solar farms. We have some being done at Akosombo, which we know, which are said to be adding to your friends and your total energy mix. But atomic is not there yet. Your friends say wave is not there yet, or wind is not there yet. Gas but and also yana shortfalls in kakraka. Having said this, Yemfan to say ye were gas effectively working, ye were wind effectively working, and Kaibeka say petrol crowd put for the carrying of goods and services, and the powering of machines to work in factories and for other services. And say a banner say increase about petrol so crapwa. Okay. People may use the other sources to do whatever they want. But here we are. We heavily depend on fossil fuels. And the effect it will have on goods and services. It's not only goods, it's goods and services. Because there are hotels, there are companies, there are factories that are using petrol to power their machines. And all of them are going to get affected. And the effect will be dire. Will be a banching. Free mekura, your friends, quota, edeba. Offer trotonian as a woman carry goods here. A brewebia wako place order. Ewo ekura say obanchi wutua meswa dia konkran akwakoton. Price or the ma no definitely or the bedroom kan the prices will go up.
Sure.
Obi a one factory or juma or produce young fans a pure special ice. Any idea petrol better their power machines will get affected. And those who are also going to add for food processing are also going to increase it. And it cuts across. And I think say 16 pesos, 14 pesos, or whatever would have an add-on effect on the carriage of goods and services. Remember, transport is not only the carrying of people, it's the movement of goods
and services.
People and services.
That's it. He says, Solicitor PL is Then there okay energy asem. So energy asam no let us be braba bonten am agree ko fon so de bia bonten about dum so say dum siesio say pre say preso say dan yo anti obviously ye beka no so asam kakra ye den say kan san say enyina mahode onsam no me fridge o ma me fridge asai na fridge na America for die bi ne moto ko bi sai no cedis mpem nson 7,000 Ghana cedis moto no nko a na manjimi sika wa MPA for na ECG for na nyamia and your excellence akwaba bibia boko there the radius divine yen hwe sa mfumu sa reintroduction of sa levium sandia bay owura athaka sembi say answer na mesi ginan no wotena say analyze na mahwe say se me pagya senso di free ha I can survive for a very long time. And I say, people just sense we di free ha. Eba ma had decoration no be said say ne pepepe. Enti wotina say adwene kwa chire ehunu say me tusa na mo ya beboa ansa na watu na mo no. Enti omo hyase say April nansen a be na otwe mienu ntam ye free ho. Yesi gena say ye free ho. Na otwe mienu boso ba kokra nu ye sande eba. Eden and necessity that adwen sakra no tentem sa na ye hwere impact a war the aba no so is it some kind of inconsistency on the part of the government say ebia obi ka se hwehwe ni mu niam bi ye hwehwe ni mu niam ni wie na hwehwe na say ye bu aka esimo na asa the aba what is it
me da say the kan maminchia ahwefo na mensa sunchia mpanyifo a magye adwa wa hase na mensa sombo wone production team so abaso mo ye adwuma na mensa sunchia Bermuda pub adabraka isa frempo man brakwesi Bermuda pub adabraka come say omo show panty no me chia omo nyina na oni sa asemwe a abetudwe ya discussing honestly when it comes to issues efa energy ho yenfa ngun sem ne de keka ho yenfa nye politics because so pompo se ukọ pompo no na ukoto fuela yen show o party card ana yetubu so kra na untumi nka se MPP fon kwa na affect and NDC fon kwa na affect intino say you can as I say you're discussing in a very dispassionate bipartisan manner and a benefit and we just have to be objective and honest about this topic. In the past we had the politics are any about do some pen so we and I can tell you for a fact to say we are where we are today. The challenges we are going through is because of the politics and then what I call the audio campaign, audio politics, communication gimmicks you play around the energy sector. And you know, me penny for what I say be omomudi kan kasa no. Elaborate I explaining a lot of the issues. But yen hwe baby assembly fini hwe pempen so ya ba bedu. Dedi kan say this price stabilization and recovery levy was introduced in 2015. And you introduce you no na botai bi e we akire. You discuss the objectives na they establish and the kind you see say during high global crude oil prices no edunu pempen so bia this fund no ebe so amanfo ase any price no level na say
yes ye be yes sika ni bi na ye de aso na be amanfo nkunkutua ni nyina na mama ne be so ase
yes any esanso subsidize premix fuel afarefo jumedia omudi ni nyina ka botaya eno ti a ye establish this levy way and I don't think say enye ade papa because adibia one ye di si onum se na be ya amanfo ho be han omode eye ena development na ye nyina ye agitu mu no ebi soso ebi ase nti no so obi produce gold Ashanti region no chese omon komode ya almost the ba yen crime for na any gold no yen so ye koyi na mu fipu mu a yen so di bi akọ nti yen nyina ye so yen ho ase in that regard. But you know, in 2021 this PSRL you introduce here no, you know say it was suspended for some time. And now you see there was so much because of the COVID-19 impact now have anything you see you per se you lessen the burden on the consumer into no you the sin chain kakra. But you see and also bet me I say and I'm not quite so I dream papa. But discussion back now back to the fore right now I think say it's a PJM and the accountability of this levy. The judges are a two-way for since 2015, and as at 2021 now, according to ASEP's calculation report, you're generating more than 1.2 billion. But I'm saying to me accounted for, and to me outlining exactly how Sasikano, you to me Sasikano, and the say yeah can levy once more acquire say as for the introduction there it's so easy for political parties and government to do, but when it comes to being accountable to the people and not know about challenge, okay say you introduce the third debt recovery levy who say you journey for 10 years now you to me move account even to the extent say levy a journey and still talk common water bill they no to me to ya meanwhile not the ordinary Ghanaian every time Osoriano pa Osaline na wakwako or bibi auto bia no need to asa ato recovery and to me again they introduce Esla during Mohammed's time and we said say Esla was a burdensome tax was a nuisance one I bet the stable now. But when this government came they continued well it was supposed to expire in 2023, right? Nanka ye nanka na but I say energy sector kai o no ye the salary way ba ni ateka na fi o no aba we ba ye e no si okay ohie sika e na o collateralize the esla no e no de koje bosia sa bosia ni bitua wie 2035 na sanke kwaji busia na ewo sector bi nti na kwaji busia na sanke expect say sector ni mu kan e debate ya sa busia we kwaji minu nyina ni based on reports and they say wa kwaji energy sector busia but fa kwa energy sector mu ya da so tua sa levy in da me no ka say so levy no aba be do so a ebu amanfo ekomu sisi you see Ghanaians it's not like paying taxes no is our challenge. In economics, you know, we have what we call the fiscal policy. Abembia implemented. But in the realms of fiscal issues, you know, we are talking about your deficit, your revenue mobilization, any how you expending your resources and so at the same time. Me no can say your budget no chere say any audit report say all the time no you spending in excess of yesika you raising in terms of revenue. What you are saying?
Yeah.
But I always tell people say sometimes say you cut your coat according to your size. As a country no you nim say your issues we are in an economic quagmire. We are in challenging times. By the I admit it. Why is it so difficult for government? Every time they come to tell us that we should do burden sharing. Yes, you manage kakra. Why is it so difficult for government officials and government appointees say omo lifestyle no omo being say omo ntwaso. Me no can say research has shown say China, France, USA, Italy, these 4 countries combined. Who the ministers in Ghana they do so much France, UK, China, Italy. And this has papa we say high level. As Bashada and just one country yan udi ministers government appointees bomwa a doors to change these countries combined. Are we being fair to ourselves? You tell us say economy nimu ayedin eniamamu, then you still want to exercise fiscal profligacy, like who did who say what
who the kente ko efuom.
You see,
so on this country
the countries that we go to them to go and beg, you know. Yen yakwa ni akwa kosre yen sada ye sayem. Ba yen ye pe ba Ghana ha sia ni ye kire yen say yen de ye ho to yen de abobra na say yen panyifo no ubetu car convoy ya nipa edi tu ode kwa. You ask yourself say why? What do we then ye pese yen kire e wo memu ase. As for taxes ni yetua, hwe levy ya omodi abai sisi ya yetua yo. As if say that is the only levy on petroleum products. It's not true. Component we share price build up na taxes are eguso no ye chire mu chire wa ho ubedwane NHI was so emission pollution levy was so just say endorse all those levies na yetua in the past ni nyina no akosi saying as see aban say onu die osanso yin sika ni bio na ja kwa na say discussion we nyina dey back ho member yen kan wasam by part of this release which is the price floor for petroleum products. You know what it means? It means that the pricing deregulation policy now the buy say the OMCs and then the bulk oil distributors obiya bet to me a price on one based on how onya auto fango inti yen regulating obiya turn pepe.
Okay.
Abai we say MP directive or the abasisi and say yeah the cap ba beto so say sisi no the price floor no yenina no the OMCs no they must pay the OMCs no they must like a threshold be I dey to onuma they must pay like your top fango no sisi and the bed range be yenina beto. But you see I ask myself say so that margin of profit no and a benefit I bebe mu no why should it go to government and not the consumer Ghanaian? The Ghanaian must be the one to benefit from Saturday, and you know the MPA mandate a woman someone kasankasa. It looks like they are diverting. Omo mandate no constitution no a hifa and answer policy I drafting no hifa and the momo mandate etumi chiro omo Saturday omo. What we expect the MPA to do is say the kind of products are ye dey ba market so no. They nim say bi one more contaminated, e bi o inferior. I say engines okoto makoto fuel egu me kan mu a me 2 year within 5 minutes no na car na engine no abo ebu onu ma car no betwitwi ni mu saa. We expect MPA say by this time no enka obe put in place mechanisms ye dey be address quality products na eba market no I don't know share because some of these things you know they be no you see a common do pa chain said den kra na o tekrama wo we untumi twan we say common do unti and you can't cut your nose to spite your face. We are at the point Ghana for ensu say omanimu ayedin enyama enkoyie and you are still putting in place impediments and challenges ebema omanimu akoso ayedin more. The reason why this matter is so important, saying say this government, if Senka Omanfa petroleum products and for prices and your politics, Nanka and Simbiampo. But they came to us. That's how I come. Me, if anybody represents the party and they are talking about certain things, every time my suggestion is say before I will about certain topics so sensitive, Ghana for a full panel, you must apologize. So bunko today now patch our and send your komobia yedi because our petrol assembly we couldn't forgive Mahama say 1 liter and 1 gallon and then 14 cedis, right? 13 to 14 cedis 1 gallon. Yes, Mahama money more than ye bre aden we are mismanaging, incompetent, ineptitude in the account. And then you go and check Google Bawumia, Dr. Bawumia, ne Google Nana Ekufuado, natural petroleum price and look at the number of times that they spoke about a high fuel prices are eku Ghana for. So during your regime, we expect to say Obama niama above form na man for atom. Wo so buy ya se si ame no ka say de na ye ton 1 gallon, ye ton 1 liter in there. Me talk car be 2017. Me na me toy from Korea. Na fuel a me tobu mu 72 cedis. 2017 no. And then the same car min call baby min di money bia me nya hwe the same car me turn 900 cedis. Aden nka de e fa say abrabo no ni MPP for kasa oni abem for kasa say abrabo no e boko ye ni
sure
ye mbonko ye chi
David
but ye boko ye ni mu a say reasonable animu nko and I say me condition of living in life no e say e match the rate eniama so e kosoro me boa me no ka say eniama bebre services bebre provided no prices ni change astronomically and change significantly entinu say who ende na kufu ado aban pa o ye di na che ye no dede o na se na kufu ado aban we see petrol ontumi e ma isi anonim all the problems are face we energy sector nyina no near their share regulatory agencies near their train aban EDC in change say na do ne ba umia they were not part of it, but that's what we call ultimate responsibility. We are not living in animal farm, we are not in a jungle where there is no leader and as obi enyo hene and obi ndi the taxes na mobilizing the sheda e de shenipa and say or manage my intinu say the amount now we ye penny now a leader na say no hunti ne do buy I think say they can do better and already it's not like levies maybe ni ho ya jiji bia and now me no ka say COVID-19 twem ye da ben but ye levy ye COVID-19 levy when we pay our street lights where does the street lights can ekwe sankomo we nyina no we are not you see they are not providing answers to us and yet today you get up and you are telling us say we increase it. And you know as for petroleum products ye too more can be bia.
China Western region MTT GPI 247 from Monday almost took 30%.
Me say can efun kokoje na home to rest in peace. Ya two fuel prices mu a can no. It don't mean to rest in peace because car na ye dey be fa no dey na ko hese no. Price no asesa. O just say omo running on plants near you know. Okọ no mu a if you are in the business you know how our prices no shoot up. Inti no say ye wo mamu say na say ye ade ma manfo ho atom kakra already no ye bre inti ye say ye dey hihye egu akwa mu e be ma ye hu ahehan than say waba o say wo sanso reintroduce this 14 peso or 13 peso o sanso the price floor for petroleum products so asanso aba eno so o pese o inti mu de bi am pese mu inti kwa mu hu na ntom
me da say
ya bre o
MPA boss mponyo ne Mustafa Hamid
that is see here even is saying
Mustafa Hamid on Bamilian you don't understand
enye Mustafa Hamid oyonoa oyonoa can say we must rescue this country.
Yes,
like inshallah na osuno
what I will lie
your excellency I come here say ade achade say nyama sesa de sesa because of yebeka neji ho asem ye kan ya ho asem ne betu yebeka kakre san say there's some kind of man can say whether it's an inconsistency report about ECG can we Ministry of Energy can we Great Council can we ye beti on kakra ne hwe sa on dia be mo abreso ana sam na de bae na mo botai ne dia we brebe na sisi di ansa na akọ ana say say o bribia
jo Jacob na michia brother na mrenche ya wakase fefe we divine abrebo yeboko yenyim na kawze wombo nko yenyim se boko ko wonyima penyin na se boko ko wonyima na chede wo retirement be sha homa sa boko oboko wonyim na kawze wombo nko wonyim Jacob na I am there oh there on many nyina yehu there bibe yegine yi say ye kede ye pia ye hene dama ye nyina ye pia ne dama ye pia damara bo wan de omana kala wo fa ne Ghana ebutu na omani so butu a omutu bako forward di wan NDC for say it's a no transfer ya dwun de energy de ye mfa ye politics because even though you suffer under the NPP one sano the way they use the energy crisis, what if even there was a crisis to come to power, if we want to retaliate on the papa ma or money, it will not, because Mayoka say you want to wear kingpins we import Petroleum in our Libra, we know them. You moya to siwa to yin to osiwa oil refinery osiwa yamfa oil mfim na yakafa Chinese fososo there wombe refinery fufure na sesela to politics here bon change board chairman change this that's what we are doing with to get them there. In all this I be call a technical person. When does this change, even in a ministry, as some ministry is in Umpa? Do you know the cost of changing the name? Is that correct? The cost of changing the name of a ministry are huge. Who there? You have an energy system running, then all of a sudden you change the policy. Within the following day, or there, all the participants in. Although we are just to the new change, and I only them be go for do change one systems or you what we are changing the systems, and the cost of that is so huge. It's the best raban reversal of policies. I want to talk about policy reversals or map policy credibility, and then yala now was a VAT 15% VAT, isn't it? On energy, yeah. And now all the participants will change one systems to accommodate the new price in our Zeban. And then you was suspend price increases. Is that correct? What we are going through in there, on Ibiara is Ukraine, no friend, then Russia, Ukraine. In spite of the fact there, you know there. So nye COVID obey in the Ghana, you nyesi kampo yam fan support your budget. And so still Nkofuka COVID Ukraine. Na se ejin kontompo no wo safi wa wala na daba no. Se ejin kontompo no wo dan safi wa na daba no. What are we talking about? 2015 ina yehu na manza yehu ni wo oil price volatility nti okoso no wabofom okoso wabofom okoya akọ $100 a barrel community kai. So as a planning country, what we did in there, you create a certain buffer cushion say prices in the before you generate enough money na you fan to ho. They say, oh, you started there. Oh, yeah, I'll go up and down now. Yet, the Milevino, yet that's just system. Ama, you're yet to Petroleum, young, I can't. That was the essence of the energy the sector in 11 years. Now, Divine, it's not totally true that we couldn't account for the energy sector levy. It was in the handing over note. How much you have collected from that thing? It was handing over no the government. It was the handing over accounted for how much we have collected. Today, as we sit, there. Last week or last 2 weeks, you find within a cycle of 2 weeks. Now, aban back there. So now, oil price war all cost. Here. Anytime be a Middle East trouble can be a base one or there, I started to prepare. Because BAM is oil prices no over cost. But in this one, oil demand and supply, the world's demand for energy or cost. It is those who are supplying it in one shepherd and what creates them distortion in prices. Nana, you won't use them there. Senor, Sabana is this year. There, say, oh, yana or that to that. No, one farm my hene. Nature petroleum or cost socially. Nature now a petrol no, you want her current. Not bands about them. Then the IMF called you. IMF called you. They look. You use this energy sector levy recovering as part of your revenues. It is a ekada suspender. What are you going to put in place? Assembling na IMF no say Sikaya SNE say you fiwa. E ba zine de be shanade. Nine. Intina intentamala 1 week when people na wa asama so.
No omo nim sa ba nim say say bi osi say gina na I am a baby sansa questions here na.
Maybe I can't say I am the papa there. Bibia politics or money no bebre. All right. All that government was waiting for in the Monday, the communicators. Boko oh, this is a listening government. This is a caring government. Yatsolo, Ekaya, in the midst of COVID, what's one man in free? In Suna, in Kenya, free. Then they were asked, Kenya, as I told them, you are reducing the revenue for ECG. You are reducing revenue for Ghana Water. So how are you going to make up for it? So upon Nkrumah, as the Minister of Communication, was then forced to come and say that it is somebody who has to pay. And indeed, we are paying. And I'm going to be. It's moment you found the means may be in your politics. You are right about karma. But I mean, busy there. Say, Yama Kama no to the Kakra Uganda ha. Oboboa. O Sunday. So you can hear 2012, 2015, 2017 politics are you grow a manima. Or you figura or a tantanukra. Where we intentionally as communicators or whoever we are, as some know a blue, yes or a green. Sibia yereka sisi adapa na asam no obi pay mo ntwal wetu no hum oye eyadi sika just to justify what is not justifiable. Now we are in serious trouble economically in this country. Those who are doing planning like I they know where we are, because 2015 and 2025, our hair low. How many months? Our hair low. 2025, and most of the government rescheduled debts will mature.
I see a kutia.
Only a year. And Sikano say you can on your Sikan. You have rescheduled your debt with China, for example. If you do that with China, for example, the maximum number Chinese for more 2 years. The couple of one face Canada. Come now, the records show there. Say 2 years in 2 months and face Canada. China will not really negotiate with you. They will take your assets, and they have done it in some other countries. Again, your pensioners are you have from the haircut and you have rescheduled one debt. On so about start about kicking 2025 going. When we allowed Kenoforiata to be going to the capital market, have you sat down? Have you sat down to review the contract or signing for such bonds? Nana? Have you sat down to review them? You will find out that some of the bonds were kicking for 48 years.
Hey.
And if, as a country, you have been shut out from the capital market, and not there, or the one generate true revenue, because we'll be on your bobosa. Now, if you generate revenue, you have to tax your people the more. You have to tax your people so that you can pay. Says you like Jacob now. I do cruise all you want. You build war on the treasury bills. Every week we are managing so much from the treasury bills, and the interest rates are so huge, 35% of that about. You are building another debt, and I'm going to them here. You are building another debt. Or them you agree. In Chayeti and so we you as a country, or the in issue. Or Sunday, in Zama Rokodono on your papa. And yala, and your lithium. Come now, lithium, which is the liquor once a day. What's our published a lithium agreement? Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Have you seen it? Now, we'll get found out. Obro sikade for here schools a mortgage my friend I work at finance worker the case I work and then rofu
the days I also can see our one
get fund the days are at the energy sector level days are and many more. So it means that sika in chair e be here for 5 years and agent one day and agent so at the then. These are the issues we are not addressing. Them NDC and people, you know, on boy and Kofubi Dasha, what I got when you know what is the one against in this country. Now, otherwise, Jacob now, you are a finance minister of a state. Finance minister. Now, a kaji busa brawo country now. One company, a year owner, director, takes a say. Where in the world would this ever happen? Malaysia, and I also a minister be involved, fly. And not only Malaysia, so many other countries. Nancy South African countries be say, no so minister be okay. But energy, you bring young branch and better radio UTV. Oh no, now do you know what is conflict of interest? Say so you see, we have built up ourselves in a economic block there. Now we cannot even go to the capital market. All we need to do is to tax and tax and tax.
Can we survive with those tax?
No. Here, says Yala. Last time we can't assembly there. Ghana, you get you $4 million from the what it is. Climate change as climate credit. In Chichede, we'll change the code because we are keeping our environment, whatever it is. So, what is the essence of the emission tax?
And we are some maybe actually be no dear Maya. Your sense me that now,
what is the essence of the COVID tax?
Me that say, you better ya share taxes. I would do na near bisa sen for so ben was then in your free money to me. Na where the air can win your fan engine for Mutia, and after Yamra, the other topics, and near Pontam Kakra, Nema Binti, but by 10:30, say to me, sorry, Sansa Juma, who will be over the same penny food be cocoa yinti. Yet, share yet Dumunkania. I may yes, I say, don't see. Yen na agi to dum siesie sa na energy minister ka kire yen dum siesie na ebura fe siesie no na ade wu siesie bibia e ma ne ye fe wu siesie bibia ade ne ye but de siesie nya na te ba fam ye do bibia sie dum so enye dum so enye dum so ye de ka an ye tua e ma nansan bi I can't remember ebra ano ye den IPPs no dwa line no aban ko ties ka kakra bi e ma Japan Mesa, Deputy Minister of Energy, Bekachis, Sagara for Modern and Abaya sort to a mokra, and in Ansana Point, the Samba Ibu. What is going on in the energy sector? As I said, Greek for a day statement to Diaba. Now, what's your woman some more canwa? Now, come here, say, ye see Gina, your majume ye, and Unti and Amanako Kobasa. Now, shall say no compliance with load management instructions. And you know, they are all talking about no or no. I my usage instruction say management. And they say load management instructions. What is going on, Mr. Atta? Because me you know what I'm saying. Now saying na usage Korea a day statement by say or how no almost installs transformers about 600 and something mewa. And to mu and almost so say dear dum sono akofam say nyama ye enti se wonya problem bia na eye locality ho no na problem no wo enfi national but we see the Greek for so kan so there's a problem somewhere energy ministry so almost don with the abadok confusion I basa na say den
I think say you're discussing you may be within the very correct confines. And yes, you best spell it out. As I sit here, I don't speak for any political party.
Sure.
And I don't speak for GridCo or ECG. Enti view be the ordinary man's view.
Yeah.
And I may share. GridCo or supply the electricity to ECG. And ECG gives it to the general public.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Enti almost a patch say there are some instructions where say ECG follow, and ECG is not following those instructions. Those instructions have not been released to us. Money say as ordinary people, we are paying electricity. We are not getting it the way it's supposed to be given. Money say you need any clear understanding of near air coso. Near any money say, Sebuta fracture, your assets, and in your my war are depending on electricity, are getting affected day by day. Because it to me doomed to us over 3-4 times. And we don't know why those things are happening. Grid could say Omama ECG instructions. Those instructions we don't know. It could be technical instructions. ECG is not coming up to tell us, say, you're following instructions and answer you and follow it. So this is where we are. And this is where I'll share my ordinary man's view. My ordinary man's view, and they say, if people pay you for services, you are obliged to explain to them why you are not able to give them the service the way they are paying for.
Sure.
And if service ain't cost the way it's supposed to be, that's why there is a problem with the people who are taking the service as well. You must be able to tell us, "Yeah, mamo service, nemo mutra, and as a muchim ko baby and is a modeko." Those explanations have to come. You see, we live in a country, as I said from the beginning, the issue of accountability, and be a part and parcel of our lifestyle. You feel say obinya position mina so kotna 2 meaning we are seeing a crown. And in your person, and obey. And as a banner critical, obey you so law. Any baby, we have the law, but with the common man's sense in doing things. One ECG instructions. It is technical, it must not be for the general public. But who are PROs, who are communicators within your organization, let that explanation be given to the general public. Say, Yama ECG instructions way, so move follow. ECG so between Abeka say instructions where them are you follow A, B, C, D, name of D to me.
And that's a big my instruction be
you see, but the issue of accountability is not only on money. Yes, you can't accountability. Excellency. There will be offering institutional audit. It's not about money. It's about the institution's mandate, how you're supposed to perform, whether you have performed. And what financial audit. I will call it social audit. And so to me, reach out and my general public who say, when Sebuta fracture and Yoma Enko I will not fault ECG, I will not fault GridCo. I want us to discuss this thing clearly outside politics. Institution, have you delivered what you are supposed to deliver? Why have you not delivered? What is the issue? How can we address it? Ministries and politicians should not explain technical issues as it were. Let the technocrats explain the things as it's supposed to be. And that is my take on that one. Okay. I wanted to clarify something.
Okay, I know your way.
Honorable Sampi Yale, Excellency. My brother of
Divine
Kruma. And Uncle was
money.
Good morning.
I would dare.
I'm fear equinfi.
I would dare state clearly, say, we have a serious problem, which is leadership. We have a leadership issue, and I say, I'm very careful. Me, you know, me go school or Takra in second day, and I'm be a friend government, and I'm a BB Kakran so far political parties, if you study, are supposed to be platform for raising future leaders.
Yeah.
Leaders.
Yeah.
Leaders. We have managers of our economy, but we have leaders of our country. Me repeat it. Leaders of the country and managers of our economy. Say, I fear, but I will say, if you take where we have come from and where we are going, the biggest challenge we have is leaders. Who is a leader? A leader takes risks and chart a path for his people. Haven't we seen it in China, Singapore, Rwanda? This is leadership at play. But you have too many managers, and the managers, they carve around themselves people who can talk. And that big challenge has not been resolved. We have a leadership crisis. NDC, say Bane say Mohamed Niwa, who is taking over. Bane say Minister for Local Government, Oniwa, who takes over. Woko various places or some jurisdiction, they have created a generation of leaders. So way comes. And within their own party, it is well known that this person is a potential leader if this person is not there. We have too many managers, and that's the problem that we are having in this country. Okay.
But remember some money. Yeah, say, yeah, you know, some. No, you bring so you want to say we have just about 50 minutes. I bet me, you kakra. Yeah, you know, modern some, you know. Dum see, you change transformers. Yeah, so when your problem be, are you locality? Me and we are mudumuno. A woman, I'm sorry, and I no pay, be said, I have fine. No mudumuno. We just and bay and my baby, and some of them, sorry. It's you know, say problem be by a local. Locally who some can try but vicinity and locality
localized
challenge with the and it's like no crib among country and my young who crib you says a Greek code some of the bay or that's just so take in some local say Greek manako look as if say ECG is rather sabotaging the system statement on the bay.
Medasi, say Ubia Kasan Ubia Simi and politics. Now we see I'm failed because this is my field, energy and petroleum.
Okay.
Right, this is my field. I will discuss it dispassionately now for politics via Emma. But my main quality meaning said price floor no a recommendation that came from the PSPs, the petroleum OMCs themselves. We said no recommendation. Around 2050. Yes, started Saudi regulation market na check. In terms of this recommendation by a MPA, a sanitary that then they will implement because MPA committee and all allow them. So they brought that recommendation because once there were three ways they manage fuel prices. Either you do price ceiling, either you do fixed price, or either you do a full deregulation where you allow the market forces. Ghana seems to be doing a hybrid kakra. That is the only thing I would want to say.
What are we doing as
Ghana, one say, so here NPR.
Full deregulation.
One say, full deregulation, and Quebec there shouldn't be any subsidy. But in as much as you subsidized premix, any RFO, there won't mean that's all full deregulation. However, no MPA mandate is to ensure, say, the system is very fair, efficient, and then also profitable for the players. And the NPA, by law, some of the share the prices of petrol. And that is the core mandate of the NPA. They are to ensure that there is a fair, efficient, and then the players themselves are very profitable. That is what NPA is supposed to do. And this also the marketing and those sometimes with the decision by now it creates issues in the media ECG on the main problem within the energy sector has never been capacity issues. Opako Cheki, right from 2010, Edinburgh, capacity has never been, installed capacity or dependable capacity have never been an issue. The issue has to do with one big F, fuel. That goes to the plant, and then the powers are generated. In fact, so so from 2018, we say anytime I want to power na IPPs no are in dire need of money. And inti a basana
say fuel or money.
So it's kind of the top fuel. And so it's FF finance and then but on say after 2017 na omode sa a cash water for system nearby, and it was just to promote liquidity along the power chain, where say ECG because power no so generators and your wheelers in the grid co and your distributors ECG and your retail section but Ghana had retail section no any distribution in a boom in a ECG and a wheelers no so now say skabeba system no ma or say distributors ne gigiska no omogia no matua wheelers ne ka no masanso atua IPPs and as a generators then you have money or liquidity along the power chain. So we see there was a challenge. It became a challenge right from August 2023. Now I was this car. I was say Obian Sakano, no Obian Sanka. Well, I cannot speak to that. But now PRC website compare it was there. Oma I was on Sakan. Sika was say Kubia on the enko. But last week when the cash water from implementers Nishia, they agreed. Until as I speak, everybody says will be answer can. Just they couldn't get 100%, but they were able to get around 93% of their money.
IPPs.
Yeah, IPPs. It's a big value chain. IPPs for Bekabi. Now, face we say VRA for so. So beji we force beji so there are a lot even IPPs in the crowd about 10 or so to be
how many percent?
All of them because we also in 40 million we 36 million. That is close to about 90%.
One more generating electricity.
One generating power no scanner say no then I make us say now there is liquidity. First it was not going so it became a big challenge. It became a very big challenge. As a minute this year, some America can send the can your file no any what has been done. Okay, PRC website you would get it. That's what I said it's my area. So we know.
When we were talking about the 1.2 billion, what was it about?
1.2 billion about
independent power producers.
Oh, that is debt owed them. That needs to be cleared. But when we say government met them and restructured, and they can say. And yes, this IPPC say one city bar, one city yenchemu be a because power no scanning ko baby or compensate me no better power no. Your top power na and now along the value chain will be a benyeska. They so be inside the candidate, but it do baby no. Now make us from August 2023 till Nancy March the Omusia no be answer Kanisika. There was a big challenge. The main problem within the energy sector now, we say say IPPs no semi drawer. We say IPPs no ewo ho oma ye. Any ewo wheelers na grid co. But grid co no are supposed to be like the wholesale company. Ambe pekino as a whole. And the grid co pekino as a whole. No matter ama bulk consumers. ECG is a bulk consumer because ye exportivi. Until export trade no and also almost your bulk. And a mines no so. Almost be direct from Gridco and then for ECG for her, almost a bulk consumer. And this a banner so say will load no and I say who wholesale we say no there would be producers in no say sir. Why should ECG be the affected person and not your export and not your mining people? They should equally suffer. But they be and the who say Omunya start so move see challenges with producers, let's say power na the export market doesn't suffer. The bulk miners now move on direct, they don't suffer, but ECG will suffer. That is the challenge, and that has been the the institutional thing between the ECG and Gridco. And that is the honest truth. And advice they are not taking it because ECG is equally saying say we are bulk consumers. In fact, mines for Numbitia, export for Nibitia, yes, and I didn't say. yedi so na yen na we should suffer.
Say mampeni again it say mampeni say fango sorry power yede kwa man na
but one say I have not seen the full we say because I know say our minister was in Lome last week now or Lome. These things came up we discussed because the, Honorable Bekacho, His Excellency Bekacho, these are some of them are even treaties between us and our neighboring countries, nations. No, to mean say but so I think it will go through a process but the main challenge is say the wholesale or the wheeler being Gridco are also
or the man for no or the man the tonko man no and my ECG but how about ECG for so ECG
for so the ama yen retailers no so it is can ba mines for ni betua omomutua ekwa IPP omobetua wheelers nika transport transmitting charge no omotua IPPs nika for the power giving them so what you say na IPPs na so ankasa no omo dealing in gas no omunya omo gas no ebi e WAPCO ebi e ENI through Ghana Gas and ebi e GNPC themselves that's Talu and say gas for no so tewo na sa IPPs in scanning by so betua omo car hon mo bon so dodo ese omo de mo no na omo so mate so kakra the omo te so kakra it means these people cannot produce up to their main dependable capacity so when it means so anyesa it means wheelers no almost it means transmit
it is so how we and that
is the main challenge
ade wo ho abribia na edu ba bia de amanyosam man look as if say obi na nyina adwuma yenti aban bi na mbon ho modinti and no ye bibia te sie ni mu pass away and your how no there why do you politicize it in the first place?
I as I sit here what I have seen and I'm speaking minus politics. That's why I'm giving my expert view in it. So, who share when the pastor speaking? What I know of, say they have been an approval where even the distribution companies, between Netco and ECG, there's no sense making them different. They will have to be one. And after the wheelers, are going to be given the mandate on the wholesale consumer so that they can even forecast into the future because they say as we have now ECG for the year forecast on Ghana's installed capacity so ye ball consumer so how do you then forecast for the wheeler abroad mumuna oil system administrator onim their mines for onim their core export no onim their offer so he is better placed obey make forecast say okay Ghana in the next 30 years, senior we shouldn't go with the emergency EPP, that is the take or pay, but young normal contracts that they take and pay. So as I said, I know because there was a time we had a brief discussion with the minister, and then he told us the cabinet just trying to fix that thing. So I'm fixing the year now. The cash water for mechanism this kind of ban or implement a system at source. As a top power now, they say ECG called cashless. Didn't talk about cashless because of the cash water for system. Send a year, send me mobile money, some top power 10 CDR. IPP, and say, I saw so munya 10 pesos automatically now hit your account. So say grid kofonia 2 pesos automatically now hit your account. When it happens like that, say even say you say ukobo besin bank na do makasa dem kana utua ne kakra they know you are paying.
It is said ye nina mohodin a e bona ni pre
but coming back to anyimodin e bona ni pre no there as I said there are two main things going on. You do see had to do with moving the car power to Kumasi so that one northern sector no benya a stabilized transmission.
Na car power na ediko Kumasi enya gas na
gas na ye
it is na gas na ye twa ye ahoma to form the gas ni bi
Gensa Energy is doing those things our yet to link mining sectors. There are a lot of things going on or more link pipes to the mining sectors just to give them
Gensa for ye da ko Santiri Kumasi.
Yeah, they will do. Up to Takwa Pristia, all of those things are done. It will get to there. Say interconnect. I mean, who how to say it? Interconnectivity. You start here, you go here, and then you get here. You understand? So definitely, it's going to be done.
Na see, say you ready. Na say, and then I am trying. Na nka wo munye mfa nu ebe ben kakra na we enwo bebi ebe wa na fe. Ana lema
we be do one as a gas number ya which me retrofit use oil right and then
so use
it's once it's in use it means that they've given it a power source
and to use
right
complete
what should I say? Not full capacity.
No, is it being used at all?
The car power then, yes.
Is it being used at all?
Yes, to stabilize the power going to the. Oh, you can check from the. Oh, it's being used. It's being used. It's in use.
Okay.
So what you saying? And you know they say the so far they said the last time I had a cause to complain and I had a chat with Eben or ECG or let's say immunity or Yarifa Kutam in Chenho. And you may 7 be a number light in the doom. A duma number free will be. No, I continued. The last time I went with him in the court transformer and chain. Or more, some big baby almost say a fuse. Between 7 and 7, they say they minimum the AC says they do a peak time. They say you saw your demand at the same time. Over corner a cough, no more copper, one son of the hammer and abosso. Then it comes on. So yes, what they were saying said their transformers have been overloaded, no. But then it raised another question. Say if you had done a forecast. And then you know how people CBI state in engineer, this shouldn't be a problem. You should have solved the problem by now by changing your system. Because I pay power and as Mr. Manka, so power now. I expect
and someone Dr. Hatta can say your leadership crisis and I say leadership problem no. And memo be essence so onipano. And a penny, then maybe 8 baby. You are responsible for so we. Now, someone so no, you know why you fear. What am I who do responsible? I don't know why you fear.
I mean, check doing enough. I won't say, maybe I make a say,
my main court, your silence so. Now, you have a basement, no, I cost time no shot. Yan far the year can say. Maybe see him so how be or what they are. Why then do we politicize it, make it look like you say, Obina and Nejume? Say if truly, sir, said your analysis or ye, you know, say sanity and padia, then why do we have to politicize it? Because I said from 2010, banging ano. Yes, they know how beyond when it comes to capacity.
Let me correct that. I said in the how be with capacity. I'm married in a car power when I was near the Benichi the Bayade. Every Fred plans no my hand capacity. Is it a custom or where? It's a governor. How soon? Hey, soon. Now I didn't the echo. You know where we are, why we are here, principally. You know why we are here.
No.
I am referring Ghanaians to Compact 2. Compact 2. Come again.
Millennium
Challenge Compact 2. Now Compact 1 on my paying Kufo, no my paying nurse. A Juma would year or you from a Tetakwashu and Abat to Malam Junction or a Compact 1. Now America for my yard into Majisica. Now Sikana Yerbejin. You ever paid the private sector? What bang no bobwa? What was that Compact 2 for? What was the Compact 2 for? Say Compact 2 is like can documents in Nara to help us in our energy distribution. Electricity full one transformers. In challenges here you face in this screaming now. That was the essence of the Compact 2.
And say it's a Compact 1, I'm finding out why.
What the idea when
Compact 2 no for any number.
Yeah, in fact, the generation that they are soft. Back in the distribution.
Yeah.
Maybe see a best system transformers. But maybe see a ECG for one losses and ever curtail in the management.
Okay.
That was why we sent the Compact 2. And ask me, why did we lose the Compact 2? We are not doing politics because it's needless. But some crofubia why you be on your money brother, you can want some. Among the conditions in there, now we want you to introduce private persons in the management of ECG.
Yeah.
And the story is told there. As part of their conditions, you needed somebody to take over and direct the assets of ECG because ECG was awesome. ECG was awesome, papa. And you just cannot transfer it to Dr. Atta to some people on just like that. Therefore, you need a bank guarantee for whoever is stepping in the upper there. Oh yeah, manage ECG. Here we are. The board of MIDA, Millennium, whatever it is, met in the office of the vice president, Dr. Mahmoud Baumia. They met there and then instantly decided there that company that is coming on and the person's coming on and will need capacity even to get a bank to give them the bank guarantee, and therefore they should convert it to insurance guarantee. Once you did that, say if the company misconduct itself, any bank account be in this so she said no, let us investigate. So if today we are having a problem with that session, downstream session of the energy mix now, great for a friend that producers no, I want to produce no, now I want to do a home ECG also, and the ECG also are transferred to various households and institutions. So if you have collected money from America and then there will be almost $199 million to solve that problem, and then you go and misconduct yourself fraudulently in your own words, let's you lose this scanner. Today, if you are in this challenge, who do you blame?
So what am I in San Kessica?
Of course.
Now, no moon him said, "Omo, you're a bit with your hard brain."
Yes, because say, well, no leadership and what fire and fool. Everything in Ghana and the politics, and people went scot-free with it. But the truth on record must be that we lost 119 million. America warned us that this AIA, you are likely to lose about $598 million. Now, no one communicates so much now. Oh, we are a sovereign country. Yeah, they will lose that money. So if ECG is struggling today, it's because of the Compact 2 we lost. And people must be held personally responsible. Now, as we speak now, when the 2 weeks, no, all the laboring, billing system, the story is this, or the fact is that PDS was Jessica. What been a one for capital, one for ECG, one for capital point. They collected our money. Why may you lose PDS is coming from America?
And
Midano. Why may you lose is coming from America? No, the Mojj, no, so PDS is some Mojj, no, so, or one team, still one fan bite. It's ECG, but then when you sky the mad. Would I transformers not? So every day we want to have a new lie to cover this PDS scandal. But it's like a mushroom. The more I cover it, the more no feel. If ECG had easy drop of $119 million, one more transformers na that count. Into your way, come now, into your way. So I think that at the right time, certain people are no board in the do. Who are the members of the board? Members of the media, Professor Ya Ntiamwa, Ufurata, Kwame Ufurata Yara. Can Ufurata Ikam?
Ya Ntiamwa.
Professor Ya Ntiamwa. He was the media chairman, chairperson.
Okay.
Alan Chamati, also come. They were the media board executive. We need to ask them. We need to sit them down and ask them, why did you take decisions? Oh my God, you lose $119 million. Forget about their fanciful causing financial loss to the state. But the truth is this. Say, you are a company, right? Now, obi so better than I did. Maybe I use money. Let's say, you will be, them. Let's say, it's a number. One will blame me. Don't blame UCG, Gridco, what all these are fast. The truth of the matter is that we need to revisit the PDS. Who did what and where we lost the money?
Who do sign the responsible?
America for catch that we should respect the sanctity of contract.
Okay.
So for me, the energy crisis is because ECG, but in all this, in the ECG for academ, in the grid co for academ, in the EC, and then a more fast a MC, my friend, then Wilkinson, back there. Yeah, the 7 years, actual light is, you know, you will be better on Bessay, and whatever there.
1 year.
Oh, I didn't and the ECG managing director, or you should letter there. Now everything is swapped. I did see how no use or by Saturday, Monday, no use statement that everything is swapped. Is everything swapped?
No.
Is everything swapped?
Okay, divine. Mami ti onso kakre na ye nko ayi.
You find your politics. Obia ye ya beka wasa.
Okay. Medas your excellency. Divine me de me here ne say o se me meto. Na ma beto. Na o de ma de am. Ade ko prepaid. Answer na wo de ba ma na medical check wo kan. Ti den tin ade so de ma metu ho kan fa me hu amane. Me ne ma so say na me kan me fridge say me ko bi sa moto no 7,000 cedis. Fridge moto 7,000 cedis.
No wala upe yan.
Wow. Niama say mayo. Wow. Enti I say obi aye de opebia yetumi nka hwe. Wow, yes citizen, oh yes wo kan so a na ye wodi pa aye dem say ye trade so ndo munni atem. Bi di watem sa. Do you think said ye koso yi no? Esese atumi tu anamo bi akokoduro so ye ka bibi ye bibi ye wo so ye ho say omanfo say bobo so tumi fa sika nwa nanka just like that.
Jacob na.
Yes sir.
Ensembia homte na Ghana problem na doso. Unim say de bia meko TV station na radio station go program bia. Me kasa sa me lamente ye ka Ghana problem. Unim say meka all my views baby no. Messi for my kai foforo. Messi for mu no na makai se manka we. But also, and this energy problem the same way. See, like a plethora of issues na amaya babedu sa their way, but they did kind politics. See, when you say energy is technical, when it comes to technical issues, you have to handle it professionally. See, and as a result, look at the composition of individuals you are signing for the board to manage the companies, any agencies, Some of them, when it comes to expertise and technical know-how and then acumen to manage such facilities, say school in the Omako, but as you who that sector, see, let's just be frank. Me tell me some more before that the mommy ebi am excel. Send a block why you explaining certain things. Ebi how the chair me mean to me. Send a mean you explaining. Some of the things were no more technical mean to me. But I don't know about on my share. Nke private businesses and nke manager. Obi wo no more appointment be dia manual. Na ka obi say oh private business kran ka receptionist kran ka be fa no. But when it comes to state management, I know the your father say obiya keke nko because your mind there. But you see, o man ni onyam, o man sika, any o man cost one, it is set of it. Yanki kan we atafre from. No jam obi, no obi so abesom. And I say oba ho nche waware ase no. So dua banche a onua oskata no because on be bio. But say wonim say amamu no etwaso na obebe bio na ebe koyi a wo manage ni yi hwe energy sector asem ya yeken me de bia dem kan say hey open masem we MPP we QPP we whatever je dum lighter say me nua guy say am ebi sa no say oyarefa hefa o dan no we hin block 2 ye yi wa fi o ye dum na e affect wa e affect o and the challenges ni nyina no ye komu. What you say? But because of politics in team, we baby Jacob na Gridco letter na or try to come out ECC. Ubeku say the fundamental issue boils down to same politics I ken. Gridco say and you na power no oye ni nyina wie no the distribution line na ECG for some fan ko fie mu no mo fan kwa omo load shedding system wa they should follow enye sa utie grid co write up statement na they are saying say if say omo follow we no our entire power system no ebe crash enti no omo ba ono ma instruct ECG say okay yenyinam kanea no ebia megawatts etumi nya ebia 200 and based on the capacity near one enti no wo dey kwa make sure say aha ubedum no aha obeche ni say na be ya ebenya ne kakra but memfa ni nyina ntum o say ECG eba ne saa no a ECG ni de o de ama ECG na ECG biem so omo mu kan say power control system or whatever omo the control power no say ECG biem saa no omo hwe system no na say challenge it's almost crashing now. They are compelled, it's foisted on them by the system no to it almost say that is what resulted in Takrade, part of Kumasi, Tema, any other places.
On my date in March 21st. It was 7:59 and Opampo next and 8 and March 20th.
And a call and a peak hour abruptly because ECG in person will follow load shedding timetable bia. But you know why ECG also doesn't want to do? It's because the political players and heads are also on their necks to say the moment obey load shedding timetable they are going to give credence to the fact to say Dumso has come.
Send na energy minister ne kan say pay Dumso timetable yan kasa yan kweye dey family.
On men family dey before beba but cho dey kweye ni.
O say dey before na say okan wanka.
No okan but I think so because you know for him to even make that statement in Angasa one it is disrespectful and a bit disingenuous on his part to say because you are telling us that fixing energy problem no is not an event, it's a process. When did he come to the realization say fixing energy problem a process na event it's the yamre again you are telling us that we should prepare our own timetable if we feel said but even if it is localized problem and I say issue it has to do with transformers as consumers respectfully don't we deserve to also know when you want to shut a system down, when you want to touch something? What draw my attention Wednesday so uhumia na ka obehu se nya mani maye na me 37 military hospital madam Fubiko UK na juno obetu kwa no pa no assembly sie na ma me copy 37 or to atare si o to oni edum light no but escape no na wanum no it's not pentem and no call or like oko you hon man na minya call me nkosha sana ne ba 4-year-old akodemo ato ne ball man akoko no baby sana ayo no ho akola ne kofa na you know ayo ni si for mom feel say enye ayo na why akola ne say nyina because yes all light no in the absence of parents na no money fee. Even that same day, we need some of them in our flood because pumping nsuo at the back of them no. It doom light na no jai. It's your so light no. And them when in our flood almost systems na I say. Who say may apply to Guinness Book of Records. Say me babe the biggest mural in Ghana painting for saying the collapse of our system. I'm a baby drama. I'm penny for the biggest near. May I apply call and almost friend me for interview online. I didn't know maybe a show. Me could fit 10 o'clock because of the time zone. Me could do fear. Me could be me fear yet. My son laptop is me baby presentation ya friend. Oh, the opportunity I had to make a case for myself for grant and support. I missed it. But if I knew say timetable be one and that come na work is simple me buy vigil gram is say that come na me we na me fa me you crash say me to me aye so this is the ABC ni na no and this challenge na e wo no say this kasem and na ye person trivializing one and you know sa crisis ya say me aye Kenya na nado e issue fiat be say supplier the man neighboring countries no ye ntwa well me knew I dream about the trimu so or kasa asem because any simple sir that pact no you signing in 1969 and it is not say Ghana pen supply a exchange program the energy program a exchange it's a new baby near shortfall near major event in your country
almost
Cote d'Ivoire
for crime
at the ball can 2000 can 2000 near crisis can 2008 right almost agriculture for a year de kakra and the maye it to me sorry precope and again and then a financial issue we get remittance we get foreign exchange from the sale of power to these countries who they imagine say stop it yan kasa locally na kasa no ye niska it are we also going to engage in seigniorage to print money again to pay power producers where I bet resulting in high inflation and is that what you want to do share this same pact as American na na do me panicho me catch no time na e ba be si akoso modam no nsuo na e power akoso modam no enfiga na o efi baby anu ti ye ni Burkina for any Ivory Coast for nyina because almost no when they this unu so omo hydro dams ni bi o but omo de anu susa because omo tumi ngada ba omo nsuo no fi omo hono mu a ye ho na eba so when they block it ye nya nsuo so some of these things a bit diplomatic a bit technical into the medema no ABC was assembly no eja kwabana
divine
energy sector problem ye kone ekotoka na yitiaka ye ni baby scaneko Ghana a problem do na akwa administrative overhead cost ni nyamanyama obehwe no ade na nkasa na ye produce na nkasa na ye vescan go shemo ni ye discan nyina ye administrator ayi ne pick up a obe use cars ECG bra obre ono akwa CSR akodonate motorbikes no what challenge on chiro utika samu nkoyi because of politics cheap political score ya force ECG so no nkoyi sika ono sika ECG no oya for the Christmas ejuma
me that see Ivan we best start here brain action we have you just about 10 minutes
just a quick
when you the best sorry and you for energy there na you for sorry what's here asamo Herbert Krapper aka or say I'll keep lights on enti enye boss a wa share say kuma toy yem say the current and
you call university doctors and PhD for mo chere energy na
or say
lawyer cap on your lawyer
or say the new board chairman of Electricity Company of Ghana Herbert Krapper has indicated his resolve to work towards keeping the lights on. The statement followed his official swearing in as the ECD board chairman. Somebody say I will keep as you said an individual being yes wait 2 minutes you see the comments
or your board chair which means that he represents the company. One thing we must all understand
2 minutes
ECG problem has to do with finance and so you have to get somebody who can do a good financial engineering for them. That is all you need and once there is liquidity along the power chain there is no problem. So Ghana, we say imported power. We've been importing power since 2000, but this 2000 they imported 864 megawatts. Now we are importing 37 megawatts, and rather exporting 2,215 megawatt as of 2020. To hear a net now, the only time within the last 10 years, a net import, a net export which was negative was in 2016. Telling you, say, as far as your capacity to produce is concerned, it's never in doubt. The problem, the whole problem, has to do with FF. It's the fuel and it's the funding for the fuel. That is the main challenge facing Ghana's power sector.
What kind of side? His Excellency says, "I net here, and na car power, and na so far don't back on." Say, if truly see any sound,
I say you buy no. One say you buy we say something like excess power. There is Dr. Ishmael Youngson, your PRC. He has done a complete study on it. I think it was published in 2021 on this take or pay systems and everything for Ghana. I wish that as members we will find time and then read. Then you would know the reason why some were classified as excess, because over here in peak demand, even now as we speak now, we want to say whole system is a peak demand, the emphasis is 2,000 megawatts. You must have 20% as reserve. The 20% the main from cost will be 800. It means when entire capacity when you're crying, it's 2,800. Na Ghana you work 4,000, which means it's above a dependable capacity. It's above. As I speak to you currently, you're in peak demand as of May last year, which you call the highest point, it was around 3,700 megawatts. But we have installed capacity over 5,200 megawatts. Telling you, say, it's not the capacity for us to produce. The main challenge has to do with finance. So okay. As I say, it's a if Herbert and then in Crawford will be able to do some serious financial engineering, so that will be answered. One of the main problems are as I say, distribution company, ECG, or man almost has a retail company. That thing have to be unbundled. It have to be unbundled. That is the term you use in the palace. It have to be unbundled. A company to do the retail section, because retail section so what I say, irrespective of all the issues of PDS, of course it has a lot of issues, but more performance. Ubi say any industry person will tell you say within that 2 months no more double ECG revenue collection. Meaning you say retail section is a challenge within the ECG that must be fixed. Okay. Once the retail section is fixed, the distributor gets money, the transmitter gets money, the generator gets money, and then those who supply the gas will equally get money, and then you will see that the problem is going as it's supposed to go.
Divine 2 minutes.
We are so quick, say, when it comes to addressing certain issues. We want to find solace and say a solution from the private man. But you be this car, you dealing from public. You see, when this problem now started, all of a sudden, if you listen to certain players, they have no more narration, need the way I'm communicating about this energy crisis all of a sudden. Now they are suggesting, recommending, say, yen privatizing, whether aspect or whatever. But I don't think that's the way to go. If there is any solution here, ECG nankasa, yen put in place mechanisms ebema obi o ye na adwuma bia no because Jacob na yo obi o ye adwuma bia o wiasema bia wa de friend KPI. What here uni KPI? Sure. It's a day no more KPI from top to the cleaner no. Obi adwuma dia man so obi ono no ye in charge of revenue collection. Ojiji sika. Adana sani pa ko no say o meeting the targets no to me na adwuma. Why is the person still there? Let's ask these important questions. And I mean what? Yen to me jam man say de bia no me wa no. We are complaining say problems or the director hasn't changed. Or that's what if or who na juma ya on go vie. If say nipa or power distribution sector and on also na juma na power no fluctuate go up and down. So these are the things I say. And yes, see, yebeko ebeba problem no enwu because at the end no say we will not look at the human resource part no problem no na Ghana problem na human resource
onipa ne sen fatanso na koto
then it is coupled with procurement benefits individuals again at the end of the day me wrap up wasem the mechanism on my resource na nyina ye wo no nyina ye dia. And I believe say to say teacher scholarship teacher other things no. We must engineer everything with the mindset to say you provide an egalitarian method of compensation. Obia benya ne level sakitwa onimse ono so contribution ne die omu no as a Ghanaian. Me enye ne say wodi animu a obewu wodi animu e kombedo esa na ye de ne sa no man no agye nyina yensem.
Me da say doc sima mienu
yo me twane me Incentia.
That's it.
I say Ajitum said there is a global challenge for energy. It's not only Ghana. Egypt went through it, and they resorted to moving towards solar. the capacity of Egypt's solar energy is amazing. And that is the direction. They can leadership. And that's what I'm trying to say. You must away your problem. You fix it akosomo, you fix it bui, you fix it way, still your problem. You have alternatives. Solar is very expensive, but it's a very reliable one because of where we are. And there are global issues. It's not only Ghana. South Africa has the same thing. Of course, South Africa and they are still doing load shedding. Yeah. And as I speak to you, they are still doing load shedding. Yeah, it's true. 8 hours. It's happening in South Africa. But the whole thing comes back to the issue of leadership. And here we are a problem. And here how do we get there? What solutions do I provide now? Idea in the call. Now wait to me communicate to your citizens say, because of this problem, this is where we want to go, and these are the steps we are going to take. All the explanations about GridCo, ECG, and all is because we have a problem. Yeah, it's because we have a problem. So that's the first point. The second point is that there should be deliberate reforms. Deliberate. I mean, irrespective of political parties. And say to me, clear, deliberate policy. Say, when it comes to energy in Ghana, this is how we want to handle our energy issues. So far, it doesn't seem to be there. NDC came, they provided some, MPP provided some in Kufuor's time. Kwame Nkrumah did, but let's have a clear, for the next 40 years, 50 years, 60 years, this is the clear direction we are going. That has to be there. Institutional challenges and reforms. Side issue about unbundling and all those things. I think that needs to be resolved immediately. Your issues, you know. But me, we know too much, including nothing. We are not in topic. Oh, more pros and cons. Why it is good, why we know too much. Meaning, I don't see a problem. Say, dear, when you find somebody better pay. Topic. Ubenyana MPP ni aba na NDC ni aba na CPP ni aba obi abeka bia na asem na wasa na eja na ho na eko. We need to privatization. It is a way to go, but it must be managed. Sure. It must be managed. Yeah. And for me, the last but one is accountability. 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 Everybody comes and say, oh, we have done this and we have done this. With the money you generate, how do you account to the people who pay for the services? Yeah. At the end of the day, the principles of subsidiarity, our buying is supposed to be responsible to us, and the decisions must be taken by us. Our buying is responsible, but the decisions must be taken by us. Just be accountable on the sector. Accountability is not only about the money, it's also about the policy, it's also about the institutions. And very, very good. My last point, and the message Remo, PPP, Divan Nkrumah, Ankre offer them money. No one do I rent you. Look, the young people of this country must start unbundling, of course, politics from their real life issues.
Sure.
I say Mbrantia but say politics no dot. Nti bibia bape.
No ma je ginam.
And
tun cross fita.
My papa bia obedi and so some time ago the babies with sharp teeth. No be so buy no so say. Okay. I think Excellency, if we are not very careful in future, we will be blamed.
Okay.
For not guiding the young ones.
Your Excellency, we dey bren.
In all this, where's our energy minister?
Napo.
Where is he?
Oh.
Apart from asking us to bring our timetable, what has he said or what has he done about the crisis?
In the quiet.
I have taken a certain attitude there, doing politics with other things on here. But at a certain time, the truth must be told, and it will be told strongly. Now we are in the narrative there oh, NDC and MPP, and therefore we need a third files. We need. Question is, what are the performance? Your friend, that's KPIs. What are the performance records of these people in terms of this and that?
Okay.
I can hit my chest and say that in our government, in my government, the government in which I serve, we did this, that. We increased the energy from this to this. Okay? Now, other countries who did not take our route are suffering. Our energy sector has any country be or what only energy security.
That's the whole thing of having energy.
Yes,
to have energy security.
You must have energy security, and energy security is not on the spot planning, crisis planning.
It's long term.
It's long term. We should have a long term planning. So, for example, if we say that we are going to continue the rural electrification within the next 5 years, what, right? Yeah. We are going to improve our street lighting. We are going to do industrialization. We are going to do this now. What powers these things? Electricity. So, if you have a forward-looking government, what you do in there? Let me have what I have and have what? Security. And then a poor man is the one who doesn't have excess money. Simple.
Okay. The poor man is the one who doesn't have excess money. It's in a poor energy.
Very poor because we don't have excess money.
Anyway,
what I mean in there, I mean that many people is banning. You should have someone. It's safe.
Send a your chinebino. Okay. Open the message be about my making can sorry so. I'll say Jacobra, good morning. I've been following your program, and my question is in all. Okay, my question is in all these ECG matters, what role should the Attorney General play in the case of PDS? Because it is clear that money were collected. It says the kind of PDS for Kwaji, and then Attorney General, their phone. Obetu bibi anu to me nya hwehwe we question bia obi diaba.
But if it's no leadership crisis embedded in politics,
anke tumi ya hu bi. Etene ya brana ke se pondu ba ko na so bibi nti ye pon ye sore ya ne santi ye de aseda ma wo mo a ebeboa yen George Kojo money wono the chance na ma time na nke se so by this time. Safifo so chia mu nyina da se and fe divine Kroman so by divine me das papa and Dr. Bernard Abeku Arthur also me da se and his excellence appearly also me das production team so me da wo mu nyina se what's in offer or so them or chia mu nyina me di da Jacob e ho ya do da se na ye be se hia kra mu ama mu nyina mu ene hwe
block we na credit